Yo, I put it like wow, this that sound. These oaks don't work hard like me, I hope they know by now. Bayo Bab, stand my ground. Bro, these money trees go overseas like Percy Tau. I'll make sure you stay around. Quiet when I'm under loud. No negatives allowed. Me and positivity took a vow. I always play to win. Don't anticipate loss. Mind always in the clown, my boy. Never think about the drop. Never ever ever think about the drop.
Welcome to it, sports fans. It is the MKT Show, Thursday. The day before Friday, everyone's favorite day. And in reality, if you're a Premier League fan, we all know what's happening. We all know what's happening. It's time for the real deal. It is back. The English Premier League will return to our screens. It'll help relationships and it'll hurt relationships. You know, sometimes you don't want to spend all the time with your loved one. Be honest, I don't care who they are. You can love your husband or daughter or a husband, son. You don't need your friends and family around all the time. The Premier League does great things for everyone. A man who may or may not be looking forward to it. Senzo Sitebe, what you got to say, pal? 1 day away from the Premier League starting. United on Saturday, but actually the whole thing starts tomorrow. Yeah. It's real now.
It's here.
Yeah.
It's here.
What you got to say, pal?
Ooh.
It's time.
Watch the space.
Oh, watch what space. Listen to this guy.
We must invite Peter Jury, yeah?
He's the guy, eh?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that first. His monologues opening.
City Tottenham. What do you think he's going to say?
It's too much. It's
his
too
monologue.
Much. Oh, Shakespearean.
It's going to be beautiful. Harry Kane.
Oh. Imagine he plays out there, coin toss, Peter Drury, the music in the background. Is it a Tottenham or City? I don't know.
I think Saturday. Etihad.
Are you kidding me? Peter Drury.
Imagine Lloris gets injured. Who do you give the armband to?
At Tottenham.
Right now.
Is Harry going to be the captain?
That's his vice of Tottenham.
This is going to be amazing. Oh, they have like 6 captains. Remember, they were rotating it at a stage.
But come on.
What a mess. What a mess. But the Premier League, this is what I want.
It's back, dog.
It is back. And you're saying get excited.
Oh, Rafael Varane unveiling today.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, my man. So, you're up for it.
Eish, yo, Lukaku.
This thing's real now. Like, we've been talking about it. It's real. Tomorrow we'll do Fantasy Premier League. We'll do some Golden Boot predictions. You know what I mean? Really get into it. Let's go, bro. Let's go. All right. The English Premier League, as they say in America. All right. Man United, we'll talk a little bit about that. I think they are on the road back to being what they are. We'll talk top 4, who I think will be top 4 and why. And Arsenal, they got problems, and I'll break it down for you what those issues are. That and much more coming up after this. It's Premier League weekend. I mean, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Even if they started looting in my country again, wouldn't matter to me. Got my TV. Don't really have a TV anymore. I need to save for one and get one. I will be watching it on my laptop. This is what happens now. We're in a different world. And this season kind of feels real because I think one of the mainstays, Manchester United, are starting to do serious business again. You know, when people look serious, you better... Here's the reality of the world. The world will only treat you how you let them treat you. And Senzo, you're a United guy. You know, what do you think of Oli? It's been 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. When he took over to versus now, how are you feeling? Are you feeling any different? I mean, it's been, although trophyless, do you feel it's been
progress?
Yeah,
progress.
What in particular about it is progress for you as a United fan?
He brought a bit of stability. I still think he needs to be a bit more ruthless, but you know, as you would say, Rome wasn't built in a day.
And what are you saying? Ruthless with players, with the management? Like, where do you think you need to shave some fat there?
With the media, with players, with the management, like he must be himself. I think he wants to please everybody. And you're not a pizza, you can't please everybody.
Do people say pizzas please everybody?
Oh, come on, chief.
Yeah.
What's the easiest thing to eat? Let's say there are 4 of us.
Fasties.
Quick fast.
A quick fast. You're not a pizza. Hey, does he have the impossible job? Because now that I hear you United fans saying that is, you know what I don't like for the United situation? I know it's harsh. Fergie needs to come once every 10 games. He can't be there every game because there's no winning in that situation, and he is looking down upon you. It's really.
So do you feel like it's bearing heavy?
Just the whole feel of it. Because what do you think? The United fans can't see Fergie. He'll be on the big screen.
Of course
they know
he will.
he's there.
Every game they.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then, like, when they see him, he's the one figure probably outside of Cristiano Ronaldo where you'll respond to him forever. I kind of feel like it's impossible for Ollie to do his thing with the big man up there.
Yeah.
Do we sort out a situation where every 10 games, Fergie, you're around? Otherwise,
Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do you think, hey, get on with it?
No, you're right. I never really thought about it, but you're right. But also, I want to see the reception that Ed Woodward gets.
Oof. How long's he got left? Isn't he out at the end of
End
this
of
month?
the year.
End of the. Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Ice cold there.
He won't be pitching. Once
He has to, though.
first game of the season,
He has
and
to.
maybe the goodbye. I see what you're saying. That is.
He has to, though.
Yeah.
If he doesn't pitch up, he's going to piss people off.
He's-
Already. Worse.
yeah, that's true. But like, what do you want from him? He gave you Sancho,
No.
Varane. Or is it too late?
No.
Yeah.
He did what he had to do, but he must pitch.
He's also got an impossible job. I think, like, it's probably right that he's leaving. Is that no matter what for him, it's like, how do you feel as a United fan? Like, the BS aside, it's been 8 years now. It's like, Man United fans are saying, okay, we did the Europa League and the League Cup, but we expect that. We expect our second
still
team to win
waiting.
those. We win the league.
Exactly.
And we bully people in Europe.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yo.
You telling me PSG are... What do you mean by that? And Ed Woodward, it's been under your watch. You know,
Yeah.
it's like most people are so happy to say, oh, I didn't know. But when you're the CEO, you know how it goes in the corporate world. Everything's your fault. CEOs get fired for, Boris got in trouble when that guy was doing his thing with a secretary. Boris got the call. Go talk to this guy. We saw Boris had to go talk to the guy and had to fire the guy.
Yeah.
Why? It's on your watch. So Ed Woodward, good, bad, out of 10 for you, your feelings? His tenure?
5.
A 5. What about the business side?
No, the business side, yeah.
Yeah?
But like, imagine we were winning on the field as well. Ollie is the longest serving manager since Ferguson. Think about it.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Louis van Gaal.
Moyes,
Yeah.
Giggs,
Yeah.
Van Gaal,
Yeah.
Mourinho.
Yeah.
Now Ollie's at the wheel.
And it's when you put it like that. So you've had 4 managers you include Giggsy, 5 managers in 8 years.
Dude,
That's where we are. Manchester, like, imagine Apple.
Manchester United.
That's what, dude, your face is telling me everything right now. You are genuinely hurt because
And then we did the whole Spanish invasion, the Spanish fusion thing,
yeah,
where our bench looked like a
Yeah.
Mexican drug cartel. Falcao, Valdez,
Yeah.
Herrera,
yeah,
Di Maria,
yeah. What happened there?
Mata.
What-
Imagine Van Gaal, in that dressing room. Oh my goodness.
He speaks Spanish. I mean, he's
come-
he's a Barcelona guy. Yeah, he speaks Spanish.
Yo.
No good.
Mess. The English guys were probably like, okay, where am I?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I remember that bench you're talking about, Pereira, Sanchez.
The hair? No, guys.
But it was full on. It just all. It looked like what was happening there was we having tapas for lunch. That's
Paella, dog.
Paella.
Paella.
We have a paella with De Gea.
And a siesta.
He's I'm tired.
I'm tired.
The squat, he's looking be tired. Take a nap with De Gea.
Do you not know I have had diarrhea since Easter? That's not your Libre, by the way.
I'm aware of a Jack Black.
I want to win.
Yeah.
I want to be the best. Flip. Yo. We've come a long way, eh?
Dude, your face is incredible because I think this is exactly how Man United fans are feeling.
It's so,
and I'm loving
bro.
it, I got to tell you. I'm loving it, I got to tell you. All right, since we'll come back to it. Listen, let me tell you what I think, and then we'll come back to what we're saying. Man United, whether you like Manchester United or not, they are the juggernaut, they are the team, they are the apex of English football. You don't have to like
The gold
Man United.
standard.
It is the gold standard. And quite frankly, it's the Fergie standard. Let's be very clear. It's not the United standard. Fergie is he's a once in a humankind. Not once in a lifetime, because I hear that too much. Alex Ferguson is a once in humankind. So in the history of mankind, British football has never.
He's for the ages. He's for the ages.
The ages include, suggest another one may come. We may never see 27 years again, number one as a
Fergie
manager.
age.
Right? It is the Fergie
Now
age.
we won't see another Fergie.
Not 27 years, not that success.
Jesus.
Because you know what makes it special? He withstood the pressure from the outside, right? And maintained the stability on the inside. It almost, look how
Bruv.
much, but before I let you go, look how much people struggle with, you have a fight with your mom
Yeah.
and your girlfriend at the same time.
Jesus. You feel like your world is imploding.
People fall apart.
Exactly.
Alex Ferguson has Chelsea coming because everyone thought, Roman's coming, it's all over. Fergie said, let me show you something. I'm going to go 3 in a row while Roman's here.
But listen to this, dude. When Fergie took over, Liverpool had 18 titles.
Yeah.
Well, when the Premier League started.
Yeah.
Liverpool had 18 titles. We only had 7.
Famously said, I will knock them off
off
their
their
effing
perch.
perch. And here we are.
What?
One man.
Bro, is
One-
Arsenal on his own?
No, he's different from everyone that's ever been. Please don't use Fergie as the example.
Honestly, like, yeah, that I hate it when people do that as well.
No, he's not.
We all know he's who the guy is.
He's an anomaly. Is he the greatest manager of all time? Different conversation. Greatest manager England's ever had.
Britain.
For sure. So, all right.
What do you mean?
tell
Wait,
you.
hold on. Going back. Who's better than Fergie?
All time.
Yeah.
We got a guy at Manchester City right now who's
Ooh.
Yeah, who's for real. Like, listen, I don't want to argue about Alex Ferguson, the greatest British guy, but you had your time when you were actually the biggest shark in Europe, and you didn't deliver in Europe. And Pep, as a youngster, came and schooled you. That happened. We saw that twice, by the way. We saw that twice with a properly Catalan-built team. So you can't say Pep went and bought everyone.
But Pep,
And listen, we're comparing the finest. There's Arrigo Sacchi, there's Pep, there's Fergie, there's rarefied air. There's probably 5 or 6 managers. Mourinho's in that. They're all different.
Dude, but like, do you understand? You know Pep, he's done something else with football. Do you know Pep, his philosophy, he just wants to score a tap in.
Yeah. No, he's a different beast. But anyway, like, I don't want to now start. You're nitpicking once you go Pep or Fergie. Give me either.
Yeah, honestly.
Like,
honest.
Give me either, and we're generational. You take Pep right now to Leicester, right? 5 years' time, we're talking about, what are we talking about? We're talking about top 3 team. Now.
Now he's making Champions League with Leicester.
No, he's a different breed. And take Fergie to Leicester now with their current setup. We're talking about Premier League challenges. Right? We're talking about these are.
Where does Wenger go in this conversation?
No, he's not. He's nowhere near it. What he had was he struck it lucky for a small generation. You know what the greatness of Pep and Fergie is, and Mourinho is. They are able to reinvent themselves. Wenger did it once. Henry, Bergkamp, that fell away. By the way, Campbell left, Toure left, Gilberto got old, Vieira left. It was all over. Fergie built 3 great sides. 3 dynastic teams, completely different times. Early, brutal. Then the Vidic, Ronaldo years, came along. We play that. That's too. If you look at Pallister United and you look at Ronaldo's United, it could be a different league.
Do you know how else goes in the conversation going back to managers?
Yeah.
Your Pinkers? Otmar Hitzfeld?
Absolutely.
Carlo Ancelotti?
No, he's an all-timer. The one criticism about Carlo, it's the one thing I have, which three-time Champions League winner, but his problem is he doesn't win enough league titles. Do you know, with that great Milan team, how many titles he won? League titles?
I think
1. The answer is 1. That's not good enough.
2001, right?
1. You won 1 title. That ain't going to work.
Wasn't he there 2011? In 2011?
I don't know, but he has 1 title with that era. That's Cafu, that's Stam, that's Maldini, that's Nesta, that's Shevchenko, that's Seedorf, that's Ambrosini, that's...
Bookmark that.
You know what I mean? So I love Carlo, but no. All right, let me tell you why I think United are back. And I think people should be scared. You should honestly be scared of Man United in the next 5 years, because that's how the cycle is, right? Is that in life, how I like to think about it is I always want to build to win. I don't want to build to participate, right? And it's kind of felt over the last couple of years as though it's gone the wrong way. But a really important thing if you want to win as well, with all the companies that I love, is they build to their essence. What are you at the very, very core? And then there's the special ones. What Man United were, they were different in the beginning, is you also don't allow outside noise to dictate what you do inside your institution. Because most businesses, most people care more about what people think than what they're doing. And winning's too difficult on its own to be listening to every single opinion. What you need to know is what's happening in the market, how do I stay ahead of it? Nothing else is important. You know, if you're from the sciences, we speak of endogenous and exogenous features. Nothing else is important. How you feel doesn't matter. How your sister feels doesn't matter. The science should dictate, and Man United were different for a long, long time. Listen, here's the reality of Man United and why I think they're going to be back. There's really only 5 things that matter for me, and I can see that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer series. The only problem they have right now is goalkeeper, because I don't think either is good enough to be in a top 4 team, but I'll let Man United fans worry about that. I'm not going to get involved. I don't think De Gea or Henderson are worthy of a top 4 spot. I think Kasper Schmeichel's better than both, and he's not even in the top 4 team. But let me tell you where you're starting to see the 80s, late 80s, 90s, noughties Manchester United. Let's quickly go through their back 4, because no team can win without a back 4. In fact, a back 5, I like to think of it as a back 6. When I go to right back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is Gary Neville, right? Gary Neville, solid. You don't have to worry about the right side, what's happening with the defense. Gary could deliver a cross, but Wan-Bissaka, you lock it down. You're not going to get anything special out of him. He's really modern day Paulo Ferreira, Gary Neville. Stick him there. Don't worry about it. He plays 35 games. He's a fitness machine. It's perfect. So that's fine. That reminds me of Gary Neville. The left back, I got Luke Shaw as Dennis Irwin, and it's because the athleticism is sensational. Dennis Irwin definitely a tougher guy. I remember right foot, left foot. Dennis Irwin could do it all. Could play holding mid, and some player. But what's Luke Shaw's got is that wonderful delivery. Luke Shaw has got such touch. He's got such touch when he gets to the byline, and he gets to the byline. He's powerful. He's quick. Dennis Irwin, unstoppable athlete. Centre back Varane. Everybody's kind of. I still think he went on a ride in Real Madrid, but okay, fine. But he reminds me of Rio Ferdinand. When I watched him play, I think athletic, classy, sort of your Rio Ferdinand style, clean shorts defender, use my athleticism and cleverness rather than physicality and brutality, and a great ball player. What you got to say about Varane is he's a proper ball player, and Rio was very much the same. The other centre-back, I see Steve Bruce in Maguire. You know, no nonsense. Not the best, but he's got something. Like, Maguire's got something, and Steve Bruce never made England, but for United. And the last one that I'm starting to see, it's the English essence. And this is what, for me, Manchester United's important here, is McTominay is Michael Carrick, but the B-Tech, because Michael Carrick had that passing range. But McTominay has that thing. It's like, you don't need to kind of ask him too many questions. You look at that guy and you're like, okay, no, that's not... folks, in life, if you're looking for trouble, there's certain people where you just need to look at them and you say, no, that's not the kind of trouble I'm looking for. Because most people are looking for trouble. McTominay ain't the guy. Man United's got the back 6 now. right? And the other thing, and Senzo was talking about it, and he said it beautifully just now, was that Man United have been bullied too long. When you're the alpha, is you can tolerate a knock here and there. The great empires in history, they tolerate a knock here and there. You can't let Man City and Chelsea bully you like United have been bullied since 2013. That ain't going to work. Now, Senzo said something beautiful just now. Ed Woodward, what's your legacy? Woodward, that's your fault. You shouldn't have Roman bullying you, because it's not even a financial thing. Man United they could probably in all reality go with Real Madrid. Nobody can go with Man City, but they shouldn't be bullied by Chelsea. They should not be bullied by Man City in the football term. Really, you should be bullying them as you did in the 90s and the noughties. And now you're getting bullied by these guys, by Roman. That shouldn't be happening. And Senzo said it. The focus was perhaps too much off the pitch. And then you get bullied on the pitch, and then you're not getting the guys you want, and you lose your essence. So I think Oli is bringing that to an end, because Sancho would have gone elsewhere, I think 4 or 5 years ago, because Chelsea would have bullied you out of it, City would have bullied you out of it. Whatever's happened now, I don't know if it's an Oli thing, but it's on his watch, and they finally got the big guy who everybody wanted. Let's be very clear. You're lying if you're a Chelsea fan, you're lying if you're a Man City fan, and saying you weren't in for Sancho. Oli made it happen. Now that is credit to what's happening there. But to finish off there, I think it's important to note this. The signings that have come in. Fred, not fashionable. But Oli is saying, this is our essence. I'm not listening to what you want to say, because I'll tell you what happened to Man United in all these years. Martial, Pogba, Di Maria, Falcao, Schweinsteiger. That's not United. It's never been... It wasn't Fergie's United. Fergie was signing Park... I heard they signed a Memphis. South Korean Park Ji. But he was perfect. Fergie says, no, this is what I need to go and win. Not to sell on Instagram. Let me tell you something. Martial, Pogba, Di Maria, Falcao, Schweinsteiger, none of those are at Man United when they were at the apex. I'll tell you that for now. Because it's not United style.
You're forgetting Memphis.
No, but it's all the same, right? It's Instagram time. It's all...
Do you know which one I'm gutted we let go, though?
Yep.
And Herrera.
And you know what? Again...
Imagine him with McTominay.
You know what I think? It's an indication, though, of where Man United are. Because when Fergie left the upstump, no one said, I regret that. So, okay, we move on, because we're here to win. You like, the fact that you're saying that as a United fan should make you sad, right? Because we're Man United. And you don't want to be here, you want more money. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
I see you just said something that triggered me, and you put it spot on. Harry Maguire and Steve Bruce. I can see it as well. I've been trying to unlock it in my head, and I'm like, yeah.
That's the one, dude. That's the one. Like, he's not the most talented guy, but
he's
talented,
reliable.
But he's got that thing as well.
It's like Fletcher.
Yeah. What did you say? He's reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fletcher, I know to trap, I know to pass. I know my position.
Yeah.
Didn't Fletcher end Chelsea's winning streak?
With that goal.
Flunkest goal ever, but hey.
It is the flunkest goal. The flunkest goal ever is, Chicharito. He's kicking that into his face. I think that was on his debut against Chelsea. I stand to be correct. Yeah. Chicharito, hey? Another guy who... Again, Fergie, where do you find that? And he was perfect.
That guy knew how to cut an offside line, eh?
No, but... and when you guys brought him, everyone thought...
What? Who is this guy? John O'Shea.
No, but that's the United way. Is that everyone is lucky to be here. And again, I want to go back to your Herrera point. Is that that's not where Man United should be. It should have been when Herrera came, I want more money. No, we've already offered you what we want. No, I don't want it. All right, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Because you remember the real days when United were cooking. Juan Veron, you brought him in for a record. All right, that's not working. Get out. No one said a thing. Yapstam, you want more money? Get the hell out.
Veron only had one good game.
You know what I mean?
A white out lane, that 5-3.
Yeah, hey, some turnaround there.
Cheebers, bro. I wonder what Fergie said to those guys at halftime.
Because you got to tell people this. Some people don't know. They were born at the same time as Twitter. Manchester United, in the famous game you're talking about, are 3-0 down at halftime.
I remember Beckham was captain, and he scored the 5th goal. And what was significant about it is that Beckham nearly signed for Tottenham, because his grandfather and everybody in his family except his dad. But yes, bro, that turnaround. I wonder what Fergie said to those guys.
And by the way, that Beckham goal is a lob from like well outside.
No, it
the
doesn't lob it. He puts his foot through it. But
I'm thinking of a different one against Spurs. Yeah, but some player. But again, that time again, you exactly. What
you knew with Fergie. Fergie was going to make a plan. You knew.
It's what winners do.
It's like that night in Barcelona. We should have lost that game. Guys, when luck is on your side, luck is on your side.
And you know what? So I don't believe in luck. Like, that's what winners do. Winners win. Fergie won. Stop telling me it's luck. You can't do it for 27 years and you tell me it's luck. That is the culture at Man United. You know what Ollie's bringing back?
Yeah, but you're right, though. It happened too many times that season because you think about the Juventus in Turin.
Yeah.
Think about that one. Right? We were dead at halftime.
No Paul Scholes in that, by the way.
Yeah, we were dead.
Yep.
Keane gets here. That's Roy Keane's best game. Keane gets a yellow card, but he says, guys, don't worry, I'll take us to the promised land. Then it's that semi-final at Villa. That Giggs goal. Arsenal.
Phenomenal.
10 men down.
Yep. Hairiest chest in the world, Ryan Giggs. Looks
Right.
like a gorilla, yeah.
And then it's that, it's Barcelona.
Yeah. No, it's all timer. That's what winners do. And you know what? Man United used to bully people. Like, the treble one, maybe even a better example, actually, is that Arsenal game. Is that you have no right there. Ryan Giggs has no right, and that's late in the game. It's against a generational
And Arsenal missed the penalty.
It's against a generational
Arsenal team.
And Ryan Giggs says, no. Because you know what happens in environments? Apple winning is not a mistake. Steve Jobs put into the core is that here, we don't celebrate winning, we expect winning. Right? What we celebrate is when we smash records, when I bring out the iPhone, when I change the face of how humanity lives. Fergie, it's well known. Don't celebrate wins. Not in my dressing room. Yeah. We expect to do that. We celebrate trebles.
So, Schmeichel, in that Arsenal semi-final, you see what he does after he saves the penalty? Like the players are trying to huddle around him, Beckham goes to him, nah. Get back, there's a game to be won.
And that's not a mistake. Like then Barcelona's not a mistake because it's a bunch of alpha males that are well tuned into here we win and that is the daily bread. Winning's not exceptional.
No Scholes, no Keane.
No, but listen.
But whoever came in knew, they knew. Bali.
Folks, culture eats strategy for breakfast. You saw it in Barcelona. The culture at Man United has been eroded in the last 8 years when you're allowing Pogba and Martial and Memphis. Because then the culture's not about winning, right? Fergie used to bring in, like you say, O'Shea, Fletcher. I bring them in. Not because that's the cool thing to do. That's what Chelsea do. That's what Man City do. That's what PSG do. Here, we win. You know what Park lets me do? It means Paul Scholes is off the chain.
Oh,
then it means
Ji-Sung Park.
Patrice Evra can be off the chain. Because you know what I can do with Ji-Sung Park? I can play him on the left and he can cover whoever you want.
The man with 3 lungs.
You know, John O'Shea, you know what I can do? Gary Neville's injured. You know what I do? I play him at right back. Michael Carrick's injured. You know what I do with John O'Shea? Against Arsenal away.
CDM.
I'll play him.
Have you seen that 8-2 game? The team that we had on.
What are you talking about? You won the league with Ashley Young as your wingback, basically.
Darren Gibson.
So culture eats strategy for breakfast. Man United forgot that. And the only way to imbibe culture is to stick to your essence. And essence was Man United.
Be who you are.
And Man United is what's important, not the players. Beckham, you're not important. Stam, you're not important. Van Nistelrooy, you're not important. Roy Keane, you start to cause a bit of trouble. The greatest, I believe the greatest Man United player of all time. Get out.
He had no right.
Get out. You're making noise. It's about Man United. And I think Ollie's bringing that back. It's going to take time. It's going to take time because it's been eroded over 8 years. You don't fix 8-year mistakes in 2 years.
Absolutely.
It's not how life works. So be excited. As Josh Kroenke famously said to the Arsenal fans, you can say it to United fans, be excited. Be excited. Good stuff, Senzo.
Brilliant.
United, 2 days time, 48 hours, 24 hours
even.
If you're into it. Man, oh man. Good stuff. All right, plenty more coming up. On the other side, we'll talk EPL top 4. I'll tell you who I think will be in the top 4 and why. The MKT Show. See you in a bit.
The Olympic Games may be cancelled again.
Okay.
Says senior Japanese ruling party official. So I also found this out yesterday because I read about another article about the Olympic Games. You know, it's still being called Tokyo 2020.
Yeah, because the logo was just so good. They didn't want to change it.
It's too expensive to
Yeah,
rebrand.
they spent $5 billion. I think it was $5 billion on stuff.
On marketing and everything.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
I'm so looking forward to the Tokyo 2020 Olympics in 2026.
Do you know what? I wish I was Japanese. I think those are my people. They do not care about what people think.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. All the best.
Sorry.
And we're the best, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to drive a Lexus? Great. Drive it. That's what it's going to look like. And 2020. Yeah. and they've got the money, but no, we've spent it already. And Shimi's got a great saying. 10 Rand is still 10 Rand.
There you go.
To them, it's not about the money. It's like, do we need it? Is changing it going to do anything? No, it's still going to be Olympics. Screw you
Yeah.
guys.
Like you said, 5 billion.
Yeah.
Hey, would you do that? No.
No.
So, okay, very cool. Olympics, 2020 and 2026. I like that.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
I've got my problems with the Olympics anyway, so who cares? Welcome back to a show you're watching or listening to on a podcast. Why did I even say show? It's welcome back to a thing you're doing. You're doing something which you are well aware of because you're an adult.
You're saying too much.
It's too much.
We're back.
We're back. But from what? Well, people don't know what was happening in the ad break.
No, we're back.
We're back. From what?
They don't need to know. You
What-
see, you're over elaborating again.
But what is the right way?
You said we'll see you after this,
Yeah.
right?
And then now we're back.
This happened.
Yeah.
This
What-
became that,
Yeah.
and we're back.
But it's such a tough thing. It's a tough
You'll
thing.
get it right though.
I will.
You
Yeah.
can do it.
So tell me this, dude. What are your plans for the weekend in terms of just making sure you watch the football? Because I think with watching sports events, especially with the way things are in life, is if you don't actually plan that 2 hours. So you
Yeah.
obviously, what time's the United game? Do you know?
I think 1:30.
Oh, you see, your approach makes me nervous because the fact that I think you got to be focused on that.
No, don't worry, but I won't miss it.
Are you more of a pub guy or do you like to watch at home?
I like to watch with people, like the lads.
Yeah. At the pub, eh? Or
No,
do you
no,
like
no.
at someone's house or whatever?
You remember the one time we watched football for like 8 hours at one of our close mates' house?
Yeah.
8 hours straight.
Yeah. It's the way to do it.
It's the one.
It's the way to do it. But I mean, listen, especially now, I'm getting old, so it's not possible. And through no fault of anybody, it's like people now get married, get in relationships. Is you like I'd like to know from your side how you approach this. Is as I'm getting older, like you can't be a degenerate and be going, oh, that guy's so whipped, bro. Like I'm happy for my mates that they're in good
Hey,
relationships.
bro, you must understand. People have real life things to do. Like, people have other things going on. Their life doesn't revolve around just hanging out with you.
But good point. And also, I'm happy for people, by the
Absolutely.
way, that are whipped. I'm like, that's awesome. That guy's in an awesome relationship.
Yeah.
When I was 21, I was like, oh, that guy's whipped.
It's like something that makes them happy.
Hey, shout out. But now that 8-hour dream that you were talking about, because that was.
Unless you have a girl that likes sports.
How many people have a girlfriend or wife who will watch 8 hours of football with the lads? And I don't want that for anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the lads get too much for anyone.
Mate,
Unless you're one of the lads.
Mate, I just realized now the English Premiership has clouded that the rugby, it's overshadowed. Sorry, that there's a rugby championship happening.
When does that start?
Saturday, apparently.
This coming Saturday?
Yeah, apparently. James was telling me the Springbok squad is out. It was Bledisloe Cup on Saturday.
I'm aware. No. It can't be. Is it? So this next week they're playing Bledisloe Cup again, game 2. Wait, but is that part of the rugby championship?
Yeah.
Is that starting this week?
Yes.
And then I'm a bookie 2 weeks time. But you've opened up a can of worms here. Rugby's a joke.
But besides that, also we don't care what they were doing. Australia versus New Zealand for like the 3,000th time. We were busy chowing lions. Oh, here's a fun fact. Do you know today's World Lion Day?
World Lion Day. who decides that? Because what I don't know any lions that speak English.
I
right?
do. Scar.
I see.
How good is Scar?
That's you talk more Lion King.
Yeah.
Which is on, in Hollywood.
And I'm not talking about Chiwetel Ejiofor. I'm talking about the original Scar.
Which was.
I can't remember. Let me.
Played that. So South African guy. Well,
I know.
Where was John
face.
Carney involved there? He was involved there. Was he a voice on Lion
Zazu? Wasn't he Zazu?
I don't know. To be honest, I wasn't a Disney guy. I watched Lion King under duress, so I'm not like, I was like, oh, get me out of here. I'm not really that guy. Like, I want to get...
I want to say it's Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons, let's go, bro. Have you... Whoa, Jeremy Irons, all-timer, by the way.
That guy's the man.
Bro, have you seen... what's it? The Medici?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man, I'm good, eh?
Jeremy Irons.
It is Jeremy Irons.
Bro, Jeremy Irons is an all-timer. You need to go and watch, was it The Pope or whatever? But it's...
Yeah.
Or but it's the Medici story where he's the Medici patriarch.
And he didn't do too badly as Alfred. It's just that, Sir Michael Caine.
Yeah, that's... I mean, they're both. Although I think Jeremy Irons is the better actor than Michael Caine. Michael Caine is like witty, old British guy.
But Alfred Pennyworth.
But that's all he is. Like,
anyway.
Oh, Jeremy Irons. You've unleashed me here because that guy... Oh, Jeremy Irons. So he's the voice of Scar. Yeah, good character. Perfect as well. He's got that...
I'm surrounded by a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. I presume that's Lion King. I'm not into it. Sorry. No, I'm not into it. So as a
You'll
child...
appreciate Scar, actually.
As a child, I was never like, oh, get me to Disney.
You'll appreciate Scar. Just watch for Scar.
Watch. But there's a new Lion King now.
Forget about that.
Is it dead?
I didn't even bother.
Because Beyonce is involved. That means they're trying to make it for the streets.
Don't fix it if it ain't broken.
So, you haven't seen the new one?
Don't care for it.
You know how upset like young people get when you say that? Like people like James. So James is like 24, He's
James was born after the first Lion King.
No, he probably doesn't even know there's an original Lion King. There's so many... James once brought...
He doesn't know, can you feel the love tonight? Sorry, my voice sucks.
No, you're not Elton John. You're not... You're
Sir
not
Elton John, eh?
Yeah, Sir Elton. Sorry, that's disrespectful. You didn't have honey this morning. Listen, James once brought me a song. I can't remember what it was. And he thought it was the original. And I was listening to him. He's like, oh, dude, this song. Like, okay. Yeah, that song's like from the 60s or 70s. And I could see his heart melt away when I told him the original song. And it was a moment for me to realize, actually, he's not the problem. I'm the problem. Nimdal. He exposed me there. So yeah, James's generation has no idea that there was an original Lion King, South African scripted actually, and the fact that a South African guy,
Titanic.
A South African guy took it across the world.
Level M.
You know what I mean? So they don't know these things. This part of the score was written by a South African guy, and we had him on the Gareth Cliff show. So there's all sorts of that happening in the original Lion King that young kids like James, they got no idea what's going on. But so you're saying rugby championship? Sorry, you've taken me off course here.
Bruh.
So that starts this weekend.
My man.
Rugby should be embarrassed. Rugby should be embarrassed. It is. You know what I was saying earlier was La Liga is run like a stock fair, but actually La Liga is more of a spaza shops are run better than a stock fair.
Honestly.
IRB rugby, that's a stock fair.
It's called World Rugby now. Get it right, bro.
World Rugby. See, I mean, what a
I also still call it IRB, bro.
Yeah. All right, that's a mess. Let's talk about something that's professional. So look forward to the rugby this weekend as well. But let's get into the top.
Yeah, we're playing Argentina.
When?
Saturday when? What date? 14th of August.
Argentina, the Las Pumas.
Los Pumas.
We are playing rugby. The Springboks are playing...
we play 14 tests in five months.
What? Has there been... I work in the sports industry. I'm not even kidding. I literally spoke to one of the physios of the Springboks yesterday morning about something we may do with them. That didn't even come up.
Dude.
I've known her for 15 years.
Imagine.
She didn't say a thing.
Imagine.
What a waste. What a waste. We're the world champions. We are
the second best team as well.
Champions.
Actually, we beat the Lions thrice.
All right. Let's stop talking about rugby. Let's get back to something serious. All right. Let me talk to you about football. So if you don't know, because there's a lot of people who don't realize this, but top four is a real thing, right? Is if you're in the English Premier League, if you're in any of the big leagues that have 4 places, that's where you want to be. That's the business end. That allows you, from what I read, about £150 million extra income per year just for waking up and getting out of bed. That's not a joke. That's real. 150 million pounds. So I'll tell you who I think is going to come top 4 and why. For me, in football, people talk about too much. Let me tell you, there are 3 things that matter. Forget about everything else. All you need to know about is these 3 things. What's the ownership like? What's the squad like? What's the manager like? The rest is irrelevant. The rest is irrelevant, and I'll come back to why. All right, let me quickly run through who I think will make top 4 and why, and I'll chat to Senzo about it from there. In 4th place, these guys, I think the ownership's A+, the squad's C+. There's just too much work still to do. The manager's D+, he hasn't proven anything, semi-final FC. I think Man United are set to come 4th. Not because I hate Man United, but because it's the reality of what's going on. Right? The ownership is A+. I don't care what people say. The reality is they've spent money on the squad. They broke the record for Paul Pogba. They broke the record for Maguire. They have spent money. That ain't a problem. Everybody must relax. The ownership's A+. The squad C+. There's too many problems. Like, Wan-Bissaka gets injured. What do you do at right back? That's a problem. Like, you can't have that if you want to be competing at the next level. You can't have the problem of Luke Shaw gets injured. What are we doing? No, that shouldn't be an issue. I can't have Lindelof. I can't have Bailly as my backup. That is too big of a hole for you to challenge because the English Premier League is brutal. And especially when you're Man United, it is not acceptable to go on at least 3 fronts. So we'll see that. Squad C+, the manager's D+. Ollie hasn't proven anything. I like him, as I said. I like where he's taking United, but sorry, I can't titles at Man United. And he's had all the resources, by the way. So, sorry, I can't see United come anything but 4th. In 3rd place...
How dare you?
Yeah, it's what it is, dude. In 3rd place, the ownership at this place, A+. A+. It's about as good as it gets. The squad C+. They've just lost a really important member. But the manager's A+. I don't care what you say. Since he's come to England, he's been phenomenal. He changed the face and the pace of the temperature of the Premier League. Liverpool are in 3rd place purely because of the manager. And that's all it is. Like, the manager's a differential. So I think that's going to happen. They've had their best season, and that's what it is. In 2nd place, the ownership is A++, right? The squad is B+. And the reason I say that is that they're missing a lot of things. They are missing a lot of things. That they're still not there at left back. I don't like Jorginho. I don't like what we've got as backup. Nah, I don't like it. I don't like what's going on there. So I would say the squad's A+, or A, but it's not there. I don't actually love the keeper situation. I don't like the Lukaku situation. It doesn't change anything. And we're still missing physicality in the middle at Chelsea. I like Kovacic. I like Jorginho. I like Conte.
Oh, now you like Jorginho.
He's been all right. But they're all the same guy. Where's the physicality? There's no physicality. And ultimately, when you want to go to the next level, you know what makes Man City different? They got Rodri. They can bully you. You need Fernandinho in the middle to bully you. Conte's not actually physical. He's just an athletic freak. So I like Chelsea. I wanted it there, but yeah, that squad's B+, definitely not an A. And the manager's a B. Like Thomas Tuchel, sometimes we get caught up in he won the Champions League. Relax. That's not enough, right? The Roberto Di Matteo actually was better than Tuchel if you're just going to look at titles at Chelsea. He did, with the same time span, a Champions League and an FA Cup double. Now, Tuchel came close, but close, I'm not interested. Close gets you fired, I'm sorry. At that level, close ain't good enough. So, Tuchel's still a B for me. We still have a long way to go, and everybody was in the honeymoon phase. Now we're going to get to see what you are over 38 games. And now the egos, by the way, Kai Havertz is no longer just Kai Havertz. I'm Champions League winner, Kai Havertz. Now the ego grows, because I know men are ego creatures. And in 1st place, listen, ownership A++, the squad is A++, the manager is simply the greatest alive today. He's A++. Manchester City are going to walk this league. It'll be a 10-point minimum differential to Chelsea just because they are so much better across the board. Because let me tell you what happens. The reason why I say these are the only 3 things you need to worry about. In business, here's why you need structure. In football in particular. The ownership takes the weight off the manager's shoulder. The manager, when he's brilliant, takes the weight off the playing squad shoulder, and then let the football happen. And when you've got A++ in all of those, it means that the A++ players are A++ free to play football.
Sure.
That is the structure. And if you can't, listen, go and look at every great team. When Pep was winning at Barcelona, what happened? You never heard a peep from the board. Sure. Every time you hear things from the board, there's problems. You should never hear about the board. Where do you hear about the board? Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United. You've heard too much about Ed Woodward over the last 8 years. Why? Because there's problems. When you never hear about Roman Abramovich over the last 15 years. Why? Because he's executing. He says, Marina, come in here and just take care of this stuff. Once you see the board's names, when I say the name to you, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, nobody knows who that is. Unless you're a football aficionado, unless you're into it.
Or you're German.
He's the guy. Nobody knows who he is.
Bayern was supposed to pay off their stadium in 2030.
Yeah.
They paid it off 2 years ago.
No, but again, let's talk about, Apple. Apple's a good example because everyone understands what's going on there, right? They're the guys now, first trillionaire revenue company in
More
history,
cash on hand than the US Reserve.
When I've argued this with a friend of mine who's an investment banker at a very serious level. Tim Cook's a better CEO than Steve Jobs. Now, people get, because the romance of Steve Jobs, oh, come on, he was the guy who was there.
And he got fired and he came back and he changed the game.
He wasn't a CEO. He's the marketing guy. He's your COO, right? Which is why he needed Wozniacki. He needed the Woz.
Yes.
Woz is actually more of a CEO. And Tim Cook's taking him to another level, a different stratosphere.
Tim Cook, you like the iPhone 12? Don't worry about it. There'll be another one. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But coming back to what you were saying, dude, you're right, actually. Once you hear stuff from the board, it's a wrap.
Again, let's bring it back to real life, right? Just think, take a second to think now. Think of the couples that you know about who are doing it right now, right? You never hear about their personal stories from them. You never, because everyone fights, everyone has problems, right? Is the couples where they're on Instagram and, oh my gosh, I love my boyfriend. Oh my gosh, I love my girlfriend. Once you start hearing that,
relationship goals.
Whenever I hear people getting loud and I start seeing them on Instagram together, I say, that one's on the clock. Because who are you trying to convince? If you love each other, why are we away?
Why do you have to prove it to other people?
And whenever I start to see, oh, I've got the best girlfriend in the world, I start counting the clock. I say, oh, that one. I see what's happening here, Chief. Because you're actually trying to convince your partner or yourself.
Yeah, but coming back to what you were saying about the top four and all that.
Yeah.
You're right. The Kai Havertz thing and Thomas Tuchel, like I was saying, impress me some more. I want to see now. Because now Kai Havertz, £79 million. Let's see, buddy. Let's see what you're all about.
And everyone's good, right, when they are in comfort. Is now Chelsea's the World Cup final for every team now. Because it's very different from what it was last season when, Chelsea's going through
There's a target on your back now.
No. Now, folks, it's so hard to...
Ask Liverpool.
It's so hard to explain to young people. There is two dimensions of life. The hunter and the hunted. When you are the hunter, it's exciting. It's easy to get motivated. When you are the hunted, now the motivation has to come from outside. Because you're not chasing anything. It's what are you actually made of?
Heavy's the head that wears the crown, eh? The king sleeps with one eye open because everybody wants to kill the king.
And now Kai Havertz, forget about Kai Havertz because the talent is not the issue. Thomas Tuchel, what are you going to do about Kai Havertz's ego now? Because you better believe, I don't care how nice
he's got a strut now, eh?
No, listen, now, you know who the most revolting people are in the world? There's doctors, right? They'll always, you'll call them, hey, Kevin, it's Dr. Kevin.
Oh, yes.
Now Kai Havertz says...
They don't even see dentists.
Now I'm Champions League winner, Kai Havertz. And now when Tuchel talks to him a certain way, does that land the same? Does that land... And we've seen it fall... Liverpool is the best example of it right now. Is that they won the league once. What happened? Now Mo Salah and Sadio Mane are fighting on the bench.
Virgil.
Now there's no fist bump with Sadio Mane. What's going on there is that now the intensity, because Tuchel and Jurgen Klopp, same thing. The intensity is too... It's
German thing.
But now Sadio Mane says, excuse me, you leave me out of the Man United game. That would have been fine before the title.
Yeah.
Coach, I trust you. Sadio Mane now says, no, I took you to the promised land. And you leave me out against Man United.
Yeah.
You saw the fist bump thing.
Yeah.
And you saw when Sadio Mane went off, was it last season or 2 seasons ago, he's now saying he doesn't pass. He's talking about Mo Salah.
Yes.
That's fine before the title. Then the title happened was Sadio Mane saying, hey, you pass the ball to me. Because I pass it to you, pass it to me.
Pass it back.
And now it's a different time because it's pressure. So now Chelsea we're really going to see what
Shaq
Tuchel's
and
made.
Kobe.
Shaq and Kobe. And also, talk to me about this. It's even more pressure than Liverpool because John W. Henry seems like that guy of like, okay, we'll give you a 5-year window. If Jurgen Klopp had the season he's just had at United, at Liverpool last season, squeaking fourth, what do you think's happening to him at Chelsea?
We need to have a chat.
Take a seat. It's over. Because if people don't believe me, what happened to Carlo Ancelotti? The season after, there's only been, I think, 2 teams that have done, or 3 teams that have done a league and FA Cup double. The season before, Carlo Ancelotti at Chelsea won a league and FA Cup double.
Yeah.
The very next season, he came second in the league and it all fell away. At Wigan, by the way. Away at Wigan at the last game.
Roberto Di Matteo won the Champions League. He came third in his group, went to Europa. They fired him
6 months later.
When he got back from Turin.
What about Carlo Ancelotti? We're not even waiting to go home.
That's crazy.
At the Wigan, he came second in that season.
Yes,
after winning the league and FA Cup double, right? Roman said, take a seat at Wigan's boardroom. So we're at the last away game, take a seat here. We're not even letting you get on the bus. Carlo,
How
thanks for your
morbid
service.
is that?
No, but that's how you win. Winning's ugly.
Yeah,
Winning's
it
ugly.
is.
And now, so my point is this. At Chelsea now, Thomas Tuchel's about to find out. It's not PSG here. It's not Dortmund here. Now the pressure comes from where? Not just the teams that are playing you. Roman Abramovich is saying, oh, last season wasn't good enough. We came fourth. At the same time. And now you're the World Cup final for every team. So the pressure's coming from there and Roman.
And you've just spent £98 million on a striker.
So then, what must happen now, Chief? So now we're going to get to see, which is why I still say, Tuchel, you're a B. What you've got to say about Jurgen Klopp, give Jurgen Klopp credit here. After that crushing defeat by Man City, the 100-point season, because Liverpool really should have won the
that
league,
must be so demoralizing.
to come back the next season and say,
go
you know
again.
what, we're going to
I
go
got
again.
this.
And then we're going to go Champions League. That's why I say Jurgen right now, for me, is he's the second best in the league.
Yeah,
just because he's
absolutely.
shown me that, listen,
Yeah.
I lose and I'm
We
not
bounce
stopping the
back.
intensity. How long does that last though? I think Jurgen is special and better than Tuchel right now.
Yeah, because also, City can put together that run, while teams around them like draw and like lose games.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you are 9 points behind City and City have a game in hand.
Listen,
And you are second that time. Yeah, see, it happens quickly.
A++. When you have A++, and Sir Alex Ferguson, I always refer back to him. Jose Mourinho at Inter Milan had this spirit going. Winning is the standard. It is not exceptional. You see how Chelsea was celebrating the Champions League final? Mm-hmm. That's not happening under Fergie.
Yeah.
That's not happening under Mourinho. Early Mourinho at Chelsea. That's not happening, Chief. That thing of celebrating winning. No. What have you done? Fabio Capello. I just want to quickly tell you a story. Fabio Capello had such a great story why I didn't work at England. Mm-hmm. So Fabio Capello famously, and we have this in common, but I didn't know this about him until I read it. He said guys were celebrating qualification games and he'd come in and he wouldn't understand what was happening. What you must understand is Fabio Capello has managed the greatest Italy I've ever had.
Yeah.
He's that guy, right? He's another one who could probably enter that conversation.
Marcello Lippi as well.
But Fabio Capello said,
Yeah.
I don't keep trophies at my house. And the journalist asked him why. He said, no, I've already done that.
Yeah.
What's next? That's winning mentality. And this idea that you're good just because you've won currently, it's not the way to win.
Pep, the 100 points season, the staff party, like the players and him had their own thing. They said, look, thank you for everybody, but like, these are my guys. That guy's intense. Have you seen the clip of him coaching Sterling?
That's out of hand. After a win, by the way, I think that was. I know exactly what you're talking about. But that's what winning is. Winning is, please don't celebrate your victories in life because you're dead. That's when you die. When you start to feel yourself. The people say he's feeling himself. How many celebrities do you see fall down because they start feeling themselves?
That's crazy though.
Michael Jordan, did he ever feel himself? You don't want six titles, number 2. Let's get back to the gym.
When he got bullied by the Pistons, what did he do? Hey man, we're hitting the gym. Space Jam, after shooting Space Jam for like 12 hours, he'd play pickup matches with guys.
Bro, after title number 2, You should be relaxed. No, I'm back. Phil, who we signing? Get Rodman.
You wanted to go one better. Oh, they say Magic and Larry, they never three-peated.
And by the way, get Rodman. Like, not I just want to win.
Yeah.
Or we already the best.
Oh, we lost Horace Grant. I don't care about him. I'll manage that guy. I'll manage him.
Get Rodman.
Yes.
You're already the best. Get Rodman. We're the best. Get Rodman and get him now.
Speaking of that, you've seen Lost Dance, right?
I've seen 6 episodes. I still haven't watched the whole thing.
When Magic Johnson speaks about what happened in Barca, and he was trash talking him.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh man, I shouldn't have chirped the guy."
Is that the famous one where Magic said we're going to keep playing here because guys wanted to end training and Magic says no, we're going to keep playing, and that's when he had Michael Jordan and they were going at it. I think that might be the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a really famous story.
And Magic actually throws the ball. He says, "Oh, we're in Bulls Arena again."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Guys, if there was any doubt of who the alpha dog was, that practice shut it down quickly."
Winning, you know what? Winning's a lifestyle. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
You don't get to sleep at night. People underestimate Fergie. All right, we'll do a little social media on the other side, or the socials, as the young kids say. The socials. We'll be on that. The MKT Show. My name is MKT. See you in a bit.
In 1999, Stefan Schwartz had a clause placed into his contract at Sunderland Football Club. Can anyone guess what that clause is?
That he could ride a helicopter. It was involved in. It was either skiing. I don't know why I went from skiing to helicopter. It is something
Heliboarding or whatever.
Skiing, helicopter, jet skiing, something to do that with that. It's that ballpark that he's allowed to do something weird. Sweden, Benfica, Arsenal, Steven Schwartz.
And did that cancel one of the transfers or not? He still got the transfer. I remember the whole thing.
Could have been, but it was definitely some extreme thing that he would still luge or something.
I remember that. I think what actually happened, and James, I presume you're going to give us the answer. It was in the transfer, and then he wanted that in, and then it cancelled the transfer. But maybe it's a different thing that
Very
I'm
possible.
But yeah,
It was something like that.
James, what actually happened? That's an interesting one.
He had a space clause.
That's why I had the helicopter.
Ballpark.
So this was back in 2002. No, it wasn't. That's incorrect. It was back in 1999 when he signed for Sunderland for just under $4 million. And the idea of commercial space flights became a thing in 2002. And that's why they inserted it into his contract. His agent had a seat on the first commercial.
Richard Branson caught him hook, line, and sinker. Still to be fulfilled. Those
There you go, huh?
Not enough to be great at football. James!
Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Can you hear me? I've got Shaqiri, Lukaku, and then other stuff that I didn't get graphics for. There's Rudiger, and then there's the PSG one that Senzo was talking about.
Welcome back to a thing. That's it. That's all I've got to say. It's a thing. And it's here.
Okay.
That's it. What do I say from this?
We're back. Then we dive in.
We're back.
And we're back.
Sounds...
Still MKT.
But it sounds like I went to go do the shopping. You You know, do you remember your parents?
You're thinking for people. That's the thing.
But do you remember your parents like
You are
from the
thinking
car?
for people.
Beep beep.
You are
We're
thinking
back.
You're thinking for people.
What did I do? Shopping in the break? Did I go to the shops and get
that's your-
croutons? What do you think of croutons in the salad? I'm not a big
Crap.
fan. They're rubbish because I'm not expecting the
Moist bread.
well, everything is soft and then I bite on a crouton. Now what do I have to do? Get a crown from my dentist. It's not right. It's not right. You hadn't thought about that. You hadn't thought about a cracked tooth.
So now, if you crack your tooth on somebody's croutons, are you going to send them the bill?
That's a good question. Am I entitled to?
No, but you chose to eat.
I chose to eat. I should have picked the croutons out. Like, I know what croutons are. I should know that, okay, when I'm picking the salad out, I don't like a complicated salad. I don't like a complicated salad.
This isn't a restaurant.
That's the thing. So you know what kind of person I am? Is like when I go to friends' houses, because most people are Neanderthals. So, and there's people they'll tell you, is that I take my own coffee wherever I go now.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to like a braai or we're going to watch a football with the lads, I refuse to take chances. Maybe I should start taking my own salad to like,
Stay at home.
like,
No.
Melanie's making her famous
Hi,
salad.
hi.
Is she going to put croutons in?
Stay at
I don't
home.
know. Do I like,
Stay at home.
stay at home, you reckon?
Stay at home.
Don't come. Just eat at home.
You're going to complain about everything.
Yeah, that's true. I should just eat at home is what you're saying. Eat at home. Come to the braai, but just eat at home.
And then you're going to be hungry because I know your metabolism is...
Yeah. No, bring my own food. The secret is bring my own food. That's what it is. Like I bring my own coffee because then I can't complain. Talk to me about these monsters who put eggs in a salad. Who are these delinquents? Well, why is there
I've
eggs?
seen raisins in it as well.
Raisins in a salad.
Potato salad. Oh.
Raisins in a salad. But you see, people like that, it's not safe to have them walking around near our children as society. What the hell are you doing putting raisins in my... Why would I want something disgusting in something that's already pretty lean? You know, like nobody really loves a salad, but it's kind of the right option to go to unless you have an all-time salad, right? But nobody loves a salad, you know what I mean? And then you put in
It's just there to make the plate look pretty.
Did you say raisins in a salad?
You heard me right, my man.
That's disgusting. And whoever does that, you're an absolute monster. I have absolutely no time for that person. Where was this? Can you remember the last time you went through that?
I don't want to
trauma?
shade people.
Oh, you don't want to talk to people. And also, hey, that's tough because hey, we live in a patriarchal society. Mostly, it's the ladies doing the cooking. Mostly, not always. There are gents out there.
Yeah, and then you're gonna. Ooh, yeah, no.
Because
Hey. You
ho, hey,
Wait a minute.
Okay, no, you've done well.
That's my Mrs. Butt.
Hey, mate. All right, but what you got a problem, bro?
You crossed the line, bro.
What are you saying about my chick?
Bro. No. Nah, bro. You overstepped the mark, eh? Mate, she's not happy. Eh?
Oh my god.
Mate, guys, I'm sorry. We're going to have to shut it down, eh?
That's exactly it. Hey, before we move on to social media, you crossed the line, you reckon?
Sure, bro.
What do you do if you do, let's say you're close with somebody, and this is something that's come into my life more and more because people are getting married and in relationships as I get older. It happens, it's great. But what do you do if you do have an issue with your very close friend's partner? Because you can't tell them, or do you just see them less? Like, have you ever thought about it and found a solution that works? Because I'm still looking for a solution. Because I'll be honest, I don't like all my friends' girlfriends. Like, what the hell?
Keep it to yourself.
Keep
You're an adult though.
No, keep it to yourself. Of course. Now I've learned the lesson. I'm sure I've told you the story that I had. But what do? Do you see your friend less? Because I also don't like being upset.
No, but the thing is, think about it like this, right?
Yes.
Think of it like, let's say at the workplace there's someone you don't like.
Yes.
I mean, you have to tuck in your skirt because we are there to... You don't have to be buddy-buddy with her. Hi, bye.
But she's around now. She's a part of the ecosystem. Like, what do I do? For me, I think the secret is see your friends less if you don't like their girlfriend because...
But they're going to know though.
They're going to know. And then they're going to ask you. If they ask you, what do you say? Like, oh, no, I'm just busy. Do you know what I mean? Because guys will ask. Like you're saying, guys will know if you're seeing them less and less. Because how do I approach that? Like,
Don't. It's not your place. Eh?
So then what do I do? See him less? The person I'm like, I don't have a specific really person right now, but I kind of have it.
You must ask.
Yes.
Who's coming?
Bloody hell. That's actually the solution.
Because if your friend is bringing his missus
Yes.
and you come by yourself,
Yeah.
nah, bro, you're third wheeling.
Oh, do you mean like at lunch or whatever?
Yeah, or yeah, if it's that, because if there's a lot of you, then you can avoid it.
Talk to me about this. I don't go to couples braais. Like my friends get upset with me. Like I'm like, oh, who's coming? Couples. Okay, I'm out. I'm staying at home. So, I'm not wrong, hey?
No.
Yeah. What am I doing when you're all talking about? Oh, we went to here together. When are you getting a girlfriend?
Oh,
That's my life.
and you know it, eh?
What do you mean, do I know? It's my life. I'm talking about my life. So now, you're having a bra, but who's coming? So and so, and their ladies. All right, have a good one, guys. I'll catch you on WhatsApp. Grand. I don't need it. And it's not because they're bad people. It's like, also, why would you want some self-entitled bachelor with your ladies? You know, like you guys do your couple thing,
Oh, Mr. Cuff your chick, eh?
or not even that. Just like,
Oh yeah, sorry, the sign.
yeah, well, my mind's in a different place. I want to see the lad. Like if I'm coming to
boys.
the fry, come on, boys.
The lads.
You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with your lady. I just like I'm not friends with you. I'm friends with your. And then people wanna when you get as soon as the
Also, ladies must know, Saturdays for the boys.
damn right.
Do what you want to do, farmers market early in the morning.
Yes. Especially now.
You must understand, from 12 till 6.
Ziash. No. These are the conversations that we need to. People think this is a sports show. We're actually solving real life for people as well.
But trust me,
yeah, it's real.
good advice. Use it, don't use it. But hey,
Yeah, it's out there now. All right, let's talk.
I'm not saying we're trying to cure cancer, but hey,
No, we're not. We're certainly not curing cancer. What we're doing is stopping me from hearing when are you getting a girlfriend? What like when are you getting a haircut because your weave's terrible?
so what's happening?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
In
What?
the sport. Oh,
Or but he's such a nice guy. Why is he single? And that comes out, and that becomes a group conversation. And you know what my problem is I'm
now
not.
you get people trying to hook you up.
Somebody's tried to set me up on a blind date like recently,
I think I was there. I think I know who it was.
and I'm like, No.
Imagine.
no, and you know me, like I'm like, no. Now you put me in a situation where that other person feels terrible about themselves because I'm like, no, I'm old. I know what I like. Yeah, don't, because you know what couples want to do, right? Is that what they want to do is they want to bring you in so you can do couple stuff with them.
Yes.
Like I want to, and you know what? I'm not unhappy that you have a couple. Just be happy for me that I'm single.
I don't involve myself in.
What do you always say? Ngena.
I'm getting happy.
But the thing is, couples by themselves, awesome. Let's have a lunch thing. Not too bad. I like it's once there's 2 or 3 couples together, and then they
all sit together, and then you.
Oh, but you can't listen. You don't know real life till you've known love, mate. You're like it changes everything. And then there's people who have kids. Hey, one of our producers just had kids. He hasn't become this guy yet. Maybe because he's not getting any sleep right now. The baby's in that whole thing. But
Wait
just give
till
him
it
6
becomes
months.
like a toddler or something.
Oh, gents.
No, can't we go to Pappuccino's, bro? Yeah, because the kids can go play and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. And also, it's just having a child changes you from a boy to a man. And they start with that crap. Get the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here, Chief. I came to watch football. What you think? Are you my pastor or you my mate? You can't be both.
Now your birthday, you can't even wear a tux now.
Imagine. I know, no, I'm crazy. But anyway, okay, let's move somewhere else where opinions are. Hey, I'd like to hear what people have to say. Cliff C Sport on Twitter. Let's go to the socials, because that's another place full of great opinions.
Yeah, bro.
What you got for me, pal?
So, first, we have Romelu Lukaku.
Yep.
Romelu Lukaku has arrived in London to complete, wait for it, his £97.5 million, in brackets, 115 million euros, transfer to Chelsea from Inter Milan.
Who's that for?
You must tell me.
It's the worst. I was going through the 10.
But it's a flex though on Chelsea's bit.
That's what it is. It's Roman saying, "I'm still here."
Yeah. They thought I was dead.
the Highlander. There can only be one. I don't know who it's for. I just want to address it as a Chelsea fan.
I am inevitable.
It's not it. You know what you kids on the streets are saying? That ain't it, Chief. This ain't it.
Nah, bruh.
Bruh, he makes no sense. £97.5 million is ridiculous. He's not good enough to be in a top 6 English Premier League team. I'm saying it right now. I'm putting my...
What if he flames the league?
No chance. He's not good enough. Because the English Premier League devours people. And all of your gaps, right?
But like expose.
So, terrible. As a Chelsea fan, terrible. There's nothing about it I like. You know my least favorite thing about Romelu Lukaku is that he's sensitive. I don't want sensitive people in winning environments. Oh, listen, if you're going to cry your tears at home. I don't want you coming out in media and saying I should be spoken about as one of the best players in the world. And he's a sensitive kid. Even Mourinho said it. So, terrible.
He's in his fills.
Terrible. It's a terrible situation.
Yeah, man. But it's a flex.
I'm over it. What else you got, Pop?
Shedran Shaqiri.
Do you know what he looks like before you get into it?
Please say it.
He looks like a Staffy, but that's just
You've seen Shaqiri so many times, bro.
But he
at the jaw.
Yeah, the Joburg jaw. He looks like your butt. He's the oak you call. Hey, Rolf. What his name?
He vapes. He's got a tattoo.
Yes. He's
Types
from
of
Alberton.
GTI.
Yeah.
Or the Vale, Eden Vale.
And he's got that haircut.
Yeah,
He's got that haircut. You know what I mean? He's got that haircut.
He's got that. It's him.
Remember James? James had that haircut. James, our producer. He had that haircut. Remember we discussed this?
Yeah.
He had that haircut a while ago. Shaqiri's always got that haircut. And he looks like...
Did you see him for Switzerland?
Let's get that on video. Do that again. I want to see what... James, can we get a full image of this man? If you're listening on the podcast...
Nah.
I'm sorry.
Nah, I'm not doing it again.
You're not doing it again.
And they when Chaka puts the armband on him.
If you are on the podcast, I wish you could live what we live.
And it made me so angry when he scored against United.
You know what he looks like? He looks like if you put a barrel, like a wine barrel, and a staffy together. Like, you know how barrels move, but also the staffy in real life. He looks like a barrel is a barrel that's moving with human features.
He's always carrying watermelons.
But also, those watermelons are tiny because he's not a pit bull, he's a staffy. He's also been squashed by nature.
Yeah, but that calf muscle, that Potris.
Una Potris, that guy. But also, Anthony Martial vibes. Is he ever going to be happy, Shaqiri? Is it like is there anything, like if you gave him double fudge cake, still not happy, that guy? Hey, anyway, what are the socials saying?
So, hold on, this thing's, yeah. Ligue 1 side, Lyon, are in talks over a deal to sign Liverpool and Switzerland midfielder, Shedran Shaqiri.
You know what he's a good example of? Is you need to know your place in the pecking order. His attitude is too big for his ability. And it's production tolerance. In life, whatever you produce is how much we'll tolerate. The only problem in life, right, is once I have to tolerate more than you're producing. And when you're that personality and that whole... Martial's going through it right now at Man United. When you're that personality, that swag, that... When you're... In that culture, they say, that guy. Once you're that guy, you better be producing like Maradona numbers.
You made me laugh, eh? Yeah, you just triggered me. Last dance, Michael Jordan and they talking about the All-Star game 98. So they talk about Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
So they're like, yeah, that little Laker boy, Kobe, whatever. And they're like, yeah, and then they talk about someone else bullying Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
And they're like, how do you feel about this guy? Michael Jordan goes, Iron Shaq.
That's the truth. Talk that truth, Michael.
Yeah, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a good example and it's a good lesson for all of us.
Because you guys gave him the armband.
Switzerland. Yeah, that's it.
I swear, him and Shaka go to bars and they dribble spree.
Shaka's kind of got that other thing. Imagine Anthony Martial and Shaqiri at the club. Those are the two people just...
Martial at the bar.
Yeah, just sitting there. Doing their thing. Like Shaqiri.
And then Shaqiri with the vape.
Can you explain Khay for our international listeners?
Khay means buddy.
Yeah, but like I think it's like
It's Lebanese, I think.
I don't know if it's actually.
But the Greek oaks, the Lebanese, the Portuguese guys.
Yeah, the guys that they're from those places. Khay is like a term of endearment to their like, hey, that's my Khay, that's my guy.
Mpinjako.
Yeah, which is it's tough to translate, but Khay is something we all know only too well. That's what Sheridan Shaqiri looks like. A Khay.
You've seen Shaqiri so many times in your life.
Talk to me about him going to Lyon. What another waste of talent. He should have been.
He should have applied himself.
He should have. It's such a waste.
He played for Inter, right?
Was it Inter? I don't. No, Munchen.
And Inter, I think.
Was it Inter as well? I'm not sure on the Inter thing. But listen, he's too good to be going to.
He's going to end up like Bojan
Krikic. Yeah, the Bojan thing is unfortunate because he had that massive injury, and I don't think he was ever the same after that blazing debut season. And then he went to Stoke, and then
Stoke is real, bro.
Yeah, Stoke had that little run with Mark Hughes, but that is unfortunate. So Sheridan Shaqiri, all right, sorry, pal, you get what you deserve in life. What else you got, Senzo?
And then hold up, Nasir Al-Khelaifi.
Mm-hmm.
You know him, right?
What does my man have to say?
On FFP.
Yeah.
Can you get the graphic up, James?
Yeah, I mean, listen, FFP is a real thing, and PSG right now. So
it's not there. It's not there.
To be clear, he's the owner. He's the face of Qatar.
Yeah,
that have taken over French football.
He's the marketing guy. He's the Steve Jobs.
He is the Steve Jobs.
Yeah, he was talking about FFP and yeah. He basically said this thing. Yeah, if you've got the lawyers, if you've got the money.
Well, look, he said we've always been following the rules, and every time we make a transfer, one of our accountants and our accounting team checks. It's like, come on, pal. Come on, bro. Like, come on now. But this is what happens. You know why I love, economically I stand opposed to billionaires, but okay, that's a different conversation.
Sure.
But one thing I love about money, you know what money does? It creates clarity. As soon as I give you money, there's a reason you are here, and I expect output. What was Platini thinking when they sold French football to the billionaires?
Hey, they probably gave him a duffel that tall.
Yeah.
And as wide as your desk.
Of pure cash, and then also a Cayman Islands account.
And then, yeah, a little bit of oil.
Billionaires are not your friend.
Honestly. Billionaires just want convenience.
They're not your friend. They're not your friend. Stop thinking that... And we're living in a world where now everyone wants to be friends with their boss. I hate that because I like structure in life. Your boss is not your friend. Your boss, like, there's a brutality to it. But again, it's the new age, and maybe I'm getting old, but the new age is I just want to vibe at work and do my thing. And,
James.
You know what I mean? Yeah, old Jimbo wants to vibe at work.
Vibing it up.
Oh, bro, I don't even want to go to an office, bro. I could work from a beach, bro. Like, who needs...
Really?
Why do we have to have meetings at an office? Okay, really. Because I still see Merrill Lynch and Fannie Mae and Manchester United still having board meetings. So
I still see Warren Buffett wearing a suit, bro.
So you and your, I just want to vibe from a beach thing. That's fine. But you're telling me you don't want to work at HSBC then? You don't want to, like, let me tell you something. You can even be vibes and marketing. Let me tell you something. I know somebody who used to, and you've met her as well. She used to run the biggest advertising agency in the world. Mm-hmm. Trust me, they still have meetings. Reg Lascaris, Hunt Lascaris, the guy, Reg Lascaris still has meetings. He's living in Franschhoek now, but Reg is still having meetings. And you and your vibing on the beach, that ain't a thing.
Mark Cuban said it perfectly. It's so good being me. In my next life, when I die, I want to come back as myself.
Wow. By the way, Mark Cuban says, I don't take personal meetings as well. That's his thing in his book. Doesn't take personal meetings. No, he says, no, I'm dropping my kids off. All of my meetings are online. If it's board level meeting and I have to come in, you know where his office is? And he doesn't even live in Dallas, by the way. But I'll meet you at the Dallas Mavericks. His office is upstairs.
It's like Lakshmi Mittal. Let's get one thing straight. I don't buy anything cheap. You must know levels.
Billionaires are not your friend.
Absolutely.
Is the ultimate thing. So my guy's saying, no, we're following financial fair play. And you know what? He's probably right. Because in what he's saying is everything that we are funding, because they've probably got 18 companies funding PSG and sponsoring from every angle. But the books balance. Now, the fact that I own all of the companies that are paying into this, that's a separate issue.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, we're talking about, do the books balance? And
Yes
can
or
you see
no?
where the revenue is coming from?
That's what billionaires want. How do I make this go? How do I make it simplified for me?
So, yeah, good for him. Good for PSG. Leo Messi is now going to be a squad rotation option. Unbelievable.
I'm waiting for a Saudi kid to say, Dad, I want to play the real FIFA.
No, they tried at Newcastle. And then somebody, probably above Seferin, said, whoa. Because when you let the Qataris in, it's not that different from Saudi. It's just, what do you get? The iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Plus.
Yeah.
Saudi's the iPhone 12 Plus of Qatar.
Oh,
Qatar's the small anyana. You can't do everything. And then the 256 gig where you can probably take a photo of the moon. That iPhone, that's Saudi Arabia.
Once the Crown Prince says Tottenham.
No, they tried at Newcastle. That's why they shut it down. Because they knew...
Tottenham, imagine.
No, there's no way. Listen, with all due respect, we all know there's a culture clash between Tottenham has a certain religion that's the core of their base. There's no Arab guys coming to buy Tottenham.
Yeah.
No. It's gone from Lord Sugar to Daniel
nice,
Levy. It wouldn't be, shall we say, it wouldn't be kosher. I
know that.
No. You know what? Somebody above UEFA, as soon as that thing for Newcastle came, the way it's kind of gone,
They're like, no.
the Saudis are coming.
No.
The little ones we can take. We can take Sheikh Mansour.
Who?
We can take
They're like, sorry, who?
Qatar.
Who been what?
Because, and by the way, I was saying this morning to Gareth Cliff on the show, I said, so my mum lived in Saudi Arabia, and she used to tell me, they don't like to leave. The royalty doesn't like to leave there. And that guy was in England. The king was in England. In and around.
You know it's like Kim Jong.
Well, some comparison. But no, my point is this. When you see an Emirati, right? So whenever
Emirati, dog. Yo, if you're an Emirati, you are serious. You're about it.
And a Saudi, when you see Sheikh Mansour, whenever he's at the Man City Stadium, please be sure that
no cameras.
And no, he's not there for the football. The guy's not there for the football. He just happens to be in town and own a football club. When you see somebody from the OPEC region traveling, you best know there's something. He's talking directly to Queen Elizabeth.
And
about
calling her Elizabeth.
Yeah, Lizzie even. Because he was educated in England as well. So, the Saudis and Amanda Stavely, put that on ice for the next 25 years. It ain't going to happen.
But honestly, coming back to Kim Jong-il, that guy is serious. That guy, they hadn't seen him for a couple of days or hadn't heard from him for a week. Someone put out a story that he died. That reporter.
Kim Jong. All right. What else we got there, Paul? What else you got from your social media?
So, there's a story developing. They're saying Rudiger might leave Chelsea. And I just read the gist of it. And it broke at ungodly hours.
Yeah.
But what do you make of that?
What it is Roman, here's the thing. I've been around now. I've never actually been paid properly because when I came to Chelsea, I was kind of a development project. But now I've apexed.
He's haggling.
So we're going to play that game. Tell you what Roman's going to do. Tony, take care of this season for me. Let's see if we can get a league thing going. Whatever happens at the end of the season, you're going to get a 3-year extension. That's fine. It happens all the time. Antonio Rudiger's going nowhere. There are no world-class centre-backs that can come in.
He's the real deal.
He's proper, and he's got that thing as well. He's also got...
Did you see his cut?
No, I didn't see it.
Fresh to death.
You know what I like
his
about
barber
Rudiger?
was a surgeon.
Yeah.
His barber should have been a surgeon.
You know what I like about Rudiger? You know sometimes when the West African guys become sort of inculcated in Europe, they kind of lose that thing. Like Leroy Sane is not Kenyan anymore. I think his father is Kenyan. Like he's just a German guy, right? Rudiger still got that West African thing.
Yeah, I'm born.
Like I'm still that...
Hey!
Yeah.
I'm sure if you saw me I'm Pinchang.
Yeah, oh, my friend though. I'm 100%.
And Chuldigu?
I love Rudiger so much. He's everything I want to be in life. Yeah, all right, good stuff. Sense. Social media, huh?
Yeah.
The socials. Do you say social media or socials?
Twitter. The Twitter streets.
They are on the Twitter streets. All right.
The socials. You watch Modern Family, right?
Absolutely not. I don't watch that now.
Yeah, if you say the socials,
yeah,
you're going to sound like Phil Dunphy.
Is that the redhead guy?
No.
Oh, it's Phil. Oh no, okay,
The coolest dad ever.
He is funny.
He's
that
the
guy.
coolest dad ever.
He's so funny. All right, on the socials.
No, please.
We out here. Like
No.
All right, the MKT Show. Remember, this is available as a podcast. The MKT Show. CliffCentral.com, the Cliff Central app, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be back in a little bit. So why should I believe Man United will have a plan for the next decade? You are the things you do, not the things we say. You can tell me all the nice things Ollie comes out and says on Sky Sport. But the reality is, I'm afraid people don't change. The Glazers don't really have a plan. It's just, we'll throw money at it, we'll throw a Paul Pogba at it every now and then. Because really, Bruno Fernandes and Pogba are so far apart if you've got a plan. It almost makes no sense because they really both want to dominate the ball. They really, like, if we're being honest, that was haphazard. That wasn't a plan. You fell into Bruno Fernandes. You gamble 5-6 more times, I'll tell you what happens. Di Maria happens. Schweinsteiger happens. Like those, what's the plan? And at Liverpool, again, is Jurgen Klopp the plan? There's only one Jurgen Klopp. There is only one Jurgen Klopp. What happens when he leaves? And you speak to Liverpool fans, they don't even want to think about it. As a Chelsea fan, honestly, if Chelsea win the FA Cup and Champions League, I don't care if Tuchel gets fired at the end of the season. Is Marina going to be there? And is Abramovich going to be there? Oh, okay, great. Whoever comes in, it's well known that you got to win. At Liverpool, we don't know. We don't know what happens when Klopp leaves. You got to have some self-worth and don't be needy. And Manchester City and Chelsea are the only clubs in England right now who want to win and are not needy. We're back. I'm going to try that now. Moving forward. I'm going to try we're back. See how that lands. I don't really like it right now, but it's new feedback. And we're back. We're back. Senzo, what's so fun?
You sound like you're not so sure of yourself. It's like you want approval.
Well, I'm going through a transition, you know? It's like...
We're back, own it.
Listen.
Own it like you own the sign.
But I'm going through a transition. You know, it's like, it's going from... Do you remember the first time you had pastrami? You know, you probably thought, oh, ham's the best cold meat in the world. Mm-hmm. And then somebody introduced you to pastrami. And then you got introduced to glazed pastrami. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? That transition it's not easy. So I'm going from welcome back to it, blah, 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 to we're back.
But you shouldn't let them know.
I want to be honest. I like transparency. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I tell you where you don't want transparency, your bedroom window. That you don't want transparency, but in life, get transparency. I'm saying, my man.
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying, my man. All right, Senzo, you love the Arsenal, hey? Is that TBD? Ugh. By the way, on the podcast, he's making the ugh face.
Yeah.
Not so much. The gun is...
No, it's not that so much, but... Yeah, shame. Ach, shame.
Skepse.
Ach, shame.
Skepse.
Skepse.
You know, sometimes there's African words that you can't translate. How would you translate skepse?
Arme skepse.
How would you translate that to, say, a James type person? You know? To the anglicized part of our society. Skepse. You'd say, all right, listen, if you speak English, let me...
Oh, bless you.
Bless you. But is that even... Because you would say... Like, give me an example of skepse. Would it be, his car got stolen? Or it's not even that.
It's hard to explain.
His wife left him for another man, for his brother.
It's hard to explain.
It's got to be organic. You can't really actually simulate a situation there.
Yeah, because you don't think about saying it. It just...
Yeah, it lives in your soul.
Tongue.
Yeah. Giskepse. Yeah. Hey, maybe. Well, James's relationship's on the rocks, and Giskepse.
Unlucky, bruv.
Allegedly, James's relationship's on the rocks.
Angizingeni.
Oh, you're not having a comment on that, because he hasn't really. He used to tell me all about her. Oh, I went to go visit her. Blah blah blah. So James comes in now. Never hear about it, and that also you got to say is that maybe he's just he's not being a hypocrite. Is he's dating his girlfriend, not the whole world.
What did you just say now?
Absolutely.
Wait, what did you say now? If he has to explain his relationship to the whole
It's
world.
on the rocks, eh? So maybe it's more solid than ever.
Leave James alone.
You've turned me. Shout out to James and his great relationship. Shout out.
I got your back, James.
Yeah, and him and his lady, they're doing fine. They're doing great now. James isn't talking about it. I'll tell you a big problem with James. We might as well get into it since we're here before we talk about Arsenal. Not a romantic, and that's.
You don't know that though.
No, I do know that. His girlfriend messaged in on the show. That did happen. I'm not.
Maybe she's hitting you with a Kansas City shuffle.
She messaged him directly, not to the show stream. She messaged him directly. You could be a little bit more romantic. Her words, not mine. I'm not looking.
And James decided to share with you.
Well, James. You know.
James, what did you do?
So that happened. I'm just telling you something that happened.
You're in the mire, mate.
He's in the mire. Because what happens from there is once. Listen.
Oh, do not they call it in New Zealand?
What?
If you're lost.
What?
The wop-wops.
The wop. So is James having the relation of wop-wops?
The wop-wops means you're lost.
Is James lost? Is that what you're saying?
I'm calling the buyer.
As an older gent, you're a good bloke. Give the man some advice. If you're not a romantic, could you maybe give me 2 things that are romantic? It doesn't matter. What do you consider romantic? Wait. Are you a romantic? I'm not a romantic.
I'm not going to give away my black book.
I see. Because now James uses your tactics. Next thing you know.
No, I'll tell him off air.
I see. No, but also what happens now? You maybe shouldn't tell him. That's actually a good thing. Next thing, you come
Actually,
back.
yeah.
James dating your lady.
Thou shalt not interfere in another man's home affairs.
That's what I'm saying. But James, so feedback directly from inside the camp, not a romantic. Has that changed?
See, it's
I
like
don't
that
know.
conversation that we're having about, do you tell your mate that...
So I should. Okay, you did right. As a journalist, it is my duty to report that James is not a romantic.
Allegedly.
No. That is confirmed.
Okay.
I have that from the most
Reliable
reliable source on this situation
Alright.
you can have. One even might suggest it's the person who is directly involved in the situation. An extremely reliable source has told me that James is not a romantic. But beyond that, I shouldn't say more. All I'm telling you is that don't shoot the messenger. James is not a romantic. Shout out, T's and P's to his relationship. Because ladies like romance, right? Okay, can you answer that? Ladies like romance, yes or no?
Most of them, yes.
Most of them, yes. Oh no, James' relationship's on the rocks.
There's some ladies that don't like flowers or chocolate.
But oh no. So you're saying most ladies like romance? Oh no, James.
Things are cliche for a reason. Flowers are cliche for a reason.
Oh no.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because cliches work.
So James's relationship, if you're saying what you're saying, most ladies are romantics. Oh no, James is gonna be he's gonna be single soon. Because he's not a romantic. Most ladies are oh no. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, thoughts and prayers to James and drinking on a Sunday all alone, you know what I mean? Drown his sorrows. It's gonna happen, it's inevitable. If he's not a romantic,
Nah, I won't let that happen to James. Even though he does support Liverpool.
he's a good guy, hey?
Oh, he's a great dog. Great bloke. Great lad.
Let's leave it here. Thoughts and prayers to James's relationship. How about that? Thoughts and prayers.
You're
All right, I'll leave it
unbelievable.
at that. I
No wonder you always have the aircon on.
all the best. All the best. Why?
You're cold.
I'm cold. All right, speaking of other problems.
The only thing you don't keep cold is your coffee.
Yeah, that's true. You can't have... Listen, single origin, you got to have it warm. Secret is you got to warm the cup. You got to warm the cup. If you don't warm the cup, the coffee doesn't taste as good. It serves 2 purposes. Number 1, it keeps your coffee warm. No one should be drinking cold coffee. But once, as my mother always says in chemistry, if it changes form, it changes function.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
If it changes form, it changes function. It don't land the same on my tongue. Senzo, warm your cup, pal. Or stop.
Okay. Sure.
Drink your coffee like you're working in a mine. No, you don't have to, pal. You don't have to drink with a tin cup. Warm the cup. Make sure the coffee.
Why did I do this to myself?
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
That's father.
You got problems.
I'm in the mire.
Yeah, mate. Speaking of the mire, that's a great term. In the mire. Arsenal in the mire.
They should just rename that stadium. The mire.
Because they're in it and they play in it. They're in the mire. For every 80,000 people, or is it 60,000?
The fans are in the mire
Every week.
because the season tickets are heavy.
Arsenal have the most expensive tickets in the world. In the world. Talk to me about this, bro. All right, let me tell you about Arsenal being in the mire, and we'll talk a little bit about the Gunners on the other side. I have it in my personal life, and I'm really trying to work hard on it. I'm really trying to work hard on this one thing, right? Is when I talk to people and they keep telling me their life goals. Because a couple of people, I'm a little bit into the health lifestyle thing. Whatever. I don't want to go on about it. It's just my life.
Sports lux.
It's my life. But here's what I always say to people. And I use this as an analogy, especially with family and people I can be honest with. Don't tell me you're trying to lose weight while you're holding a McDonald's burger. Let's not do that. Let's not do that with each other. You're trying to lose weight and you're holding a McDonald's burger. I'm not the guy. I'm not the person who's going to put up with that, right? If you're holding a McDonald's burger, don't tell me you're trying to lose weight, right? An ex-girlfriend of mine had the greatest saying. She used to say to me, stop telling me you love me and show me you love me. Because they're not the same thing. Say what are your actions consistently? Because we are what we repeatedly do in life. She said, stop telling me you love me, show me. And back then it was like, ooh. But she was right. Because in life, you are the things you do, not the things you say. And I just want to talk about Arsenal quickly. Arsenal have signed Ben White, Albert Lukonga, and Nuno Tavares. They came 8th last season, by the way.
What?
Chelsea have just broken a club record. So Arsenal have just signed Ben White, Albert Lukonga, and Nuno Tavares. They came 8th last season. They didn't come second. Man United came second, and they've just smashed a record for Jadon Sancho. Right? They brought in Harry Maguire. They've brought in backup at right back. Man United gave Henderson a new contract.
They're about it.
So, and they came second, right? They re-signed Cavani to ensure that he's gonna hang out and do the right thing. They signed Rafael Varane, a generational defender. They came second. Arsenal, according to my research, they came 8th last season. I'm seeing Ben White, Albert Lukonga, who I'll forgive you if you haven't heard of him, and someone with a left foot called Nuno Tavares. They came 8th. Senzo said they're in the mire. Let me tell you the real truth, Arsenal fans. There's nothing more disappointing in life, folks, than somebody who's a grown-up and is in denial. It's like sometimes you can't get angry and life's not perfect. And I've been in the mire myself until my late 20s. So I'm not asking for perfect. The worst thing about my 20s was I was in denial. When I think back is when the great Friedrich Nietzsche, who's famous for saying what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but his actual, the greatest saying and sort of literature I've read from him is to say, the pain that human beings feel is the gap between what he calls the ideal self and the real self. So there's a gap between those two. What you think you are and what you really are is all human suffering. When you want to stop suffering, bring the ideal self and the real self closer. Who you really are and who you want to be, you bring those closer. There's very little pain in life. There's always pain in life, but who you think you are and what you really are, that distance is the pain you feel. Let me tell you something about Arsenal. The last 4 seasons, they've been 6th, 5th, 8th, and 8th. I'm gonna say another club. Right? I won't tell you what the club's name is. They were 9th, 5th, and 5th in the last 4 years.
Leicester.
That could be Arsenal.
Leicester.
It is Leicester Football Club. It is the Foxes who sound like Arsenal. So stop the denial. Stop it now. Stop telling me about your history and your pull. Listen, Aston Villa just bullied you out of Buendia. Arsenal are the epitome of in denial. Let me give you a closing example of what they are. We all remember the handsome guy, the pretty girl in high school, and then they go to university and things change because every single pretty girl from every high school is now at university, and now being good looking isn't the currency anymore. You actually have to be about something, and people struggle. I've seen it with my own friends. Yeah. Oh no, being good looking is not enough anymore. I actually need to be a grown up.
And they thought it was a marathon. I mean, they thought it was a sprint, not a marathon.
And that's what happens. And now Arsenal are realizing nobody cares what you did 25 years ago. And it's so painful because you know when the problem started? Arsene Wenger started going soft and you kept him and you kept him. And 10 years later, Arsene Wenger still soft and you kept him. And you know what you did? You gave him more power. And you know what else you did? You made him the highest paid manager in the league. And then you know what you're telling the world in the business world? That's what Arsenal is now. And Arsenal, I'm afraid, is an absolute mess. They are too soft. And their problems are of their own making. Arsene Wenger stayed 12 years too long. And riddle me this, Senzo. Because you know what I hate? I hate mediocrity. I would rather be...
The mediocre that is displayed.
Yeah.
Your
Tell
boy.
us. Tell us the whole thing. The mediocre... No, you have to do the whole thing now. You can't just do that. Right?
What I saw at North London is just a bunch of unbearable losers. I mean, the mediocre displayed in North London. I mean, Spurs were jumping around like... Wow.
Thank you, Senzo. Thank you, Figi Lembalula.
But on a more serious note, you know, I'll give Wenger this. He was right about one thing. The top 4 was going to be more important than winning like the other silverware.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But also he was trying to save pennies. But yeah, Arsenal...
Mediocrity.
They're romantic.
Yes.
They're very
They're
romantic.
the opposite of James. So some might say James is probably a good boyfriend, but he's not romantic. So, you know, where's that going to get you? Probably, you know.
Do you know when I saw that Arsenal are in the mud for real?
Yeah. In the mud.
Where they... Oh, you said it like a rapper. You said it like your boy, the baby.
Dubai.
Where they were, where it was really like sad. When the thing to be most excited about is your kit.
That's where they are.
Those guys only tweet about their kit. How much did they get Ben Rice for? 50 million.
Ben White. Yeah.
They got finessed.
50 million. How much you get Varane for?
42.
Even with... Listen, even...
How old's Ben White?
23, 24, whatever. But even with British tax, how? And I don't mean the way black people say how. I mean the way Caucasian folks would say, how? I'm puzzled.
Arsenal are out here getting finessed by everybody. No pun intended.
Yeah. No, but they're in the mire. And you know what I hate is mediocrity in life, is I'd rather be awful or magnificent. I'm not interested in the in-between.
That's why Willian went to Arsenal.
How? Again, how? And he's on...
Because at Chelsea have to work.
Why have you signed an over-the-hill... Listen, if Roman Abramovich, from everything you've seen about Chelsea and the way they operate over the last 15 years, when they say we've had enough, do you not think they've had a look at the guy and thought, you're no longer at this level? Did Arsenal not for 1 second think, why would Chelsea let him go? Because they can see, Upeli.
Because he's a specialist in failure.
Shout out Jose Mourinho. So Arsenal now have a problem, right? Is that once you have mediocrity as acceptable, and when Arsene Wenger said that, although he was right? It's to say mediocrity is acceptable. Did you ever hear Fergie say top 4 is good enough?
No.
It's impossible, because mediocrity is the death of mankind. I've always believed that. If you are just aiming to get out of bed and just do enough and just be fine and just be content, first of all, I don't want you near me. I don't want people near me that are aiming to be mediocre. Either be awful, right? Because that's what you are, or aim to be sensational. People that aim to be mediocre have no energy, Chief. And I have no time for that.
How can sky be the limit when there's footprints on the moon, eh?
Well said. Well said. Also, Mamelodi Sundowns say the sky's the limit. Those guys have all of the money as well. So, shout out to them. So, Arsenal dead, huh? They are so dead. They are so dead. You know what happened? When you gave that power to Wenger, and he said exactly what you're saying, why is nobody in the Arsenal board panicking?
Saying, hey, whoa. Wait a minute. Yeah, you're right, actually.
Like, imagine you went home to your parents with D's and E's on your report. Does your mom just say, oh, okay, well, lunch is on the table? Of course, there's no way. She says, what's going on? Right? Your parents would say, what?
Come sit here.
Take a seat. You know how it is with families. Take a seat. What's going on? We're not saying you have to be a straight A student, right? Nobody would say that.
This isn't you.
Invincible. You were talking about invincible Arsenal as well. The same guy, Wenger, top 4 is a trophy. Honestly, I dread to think what Warren Buffett would say. What would Warren Buffett say to him? What would Sheikh Mansour and that bunch say? Sorry? It's a trophy where now?
And remember when he said that? Vieira, Juve, Henry, Barcelona.
you know what's a sad thing for Arsenal, and I hate to say this because they were supposed to be the class club, right? Like just class, everything about them. But let's go through it, right? Who the really the first one that kind of got ugly was Ashley Cole,
Oh, yeah.
right?
But hey,
But isn't it sad? Again, you are not the things you say in life. I don't care if you hate Ashley Cole. He left. Champions League.
Olivier Giroud, guys.
Well, no, we'll get to Giroud's even another. He
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Ashley Cole.
Yeah.
I believe the second greatest left back of his generation, right? Because I think Philippe Lam was the guy, but Ashley Cole, the greatest
Lam
British.
played right back.
Well,
The guys like Gianluca
right.
Zambrotta.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, point is, Ashley Cole he's the greatest British
And the
winger.
guy that can mark Ronaldo.
So Ashley Cole left, and it got ugly. You know why it got ugly? Like as a guy, right? I have to be honest. Guys do this. They're lying if they say they don't. You don't like. I don't mind if my ex has left me and she's with someone else, and I'm like, okay, that guy's that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it does irk me, you know. Like I'm like, oh man. So there is an upgrade. She's upgraded. You know what I mean? He's a pilot. He's this or whatever. Ashley Cole leaves and goes to Chelsea and wins leagues and wins titles. What does it say when Ashley Cole was right to leave? Doesn't that suck? Like when your lady leaves you and she's with like a great guy and they have 2 kids and they're living in a beautiful house and she was right that you suck. What does that say about you as a man?
Yeah.
That's awful.
Because the thing is, like, you have to be uncomfortable in life.
Yeah.
Because once you're too comfortable, you get complacent.
And it means you're not trying.
And once you're complacent, you must understand there's always someone with more.
So Ashley Cole left, that got ugly, and he was right. Cesc Fabregas left.
3 days after signing for Barca, he won a trophy.
Okay, so he was right.
Thierry Henry,
He left and he was right.
Robin van Persie,
Left and he was.
correct.
At what stage are Arsenal going to say,
Okay, this is us
broken?
now.
Right? Because Patrick Vieira should not have been allowed to walk out of there. Like, you know what Man City did? The correct way for Arsenal to have done it with Vieira, because as you say, as you always say, we are all equal. It's just that some of us are
More equal than others.
Patrick Vieira, and I love that Henry has a statue. Patrick Vieira should have got a statue before Thierry Henry.
But who was wearing the... But it tells you again, who was wearing the armband?
In his time, it was Vieira, right? When Patrick Vieira was there,
Boss.
So, but the thing is, again, we get caught up in the romance. I love Thierry Henry. I think he's the greatest player the Premier League's ever seen. So I understand giving Thierry Henry a statue. I think it is deeply offensive to not... If Henry has a statue, right? Mm-hmm. It is so asinine to not have Patrick Vieira, because think of Man City, how they did it. Their statesman is Vincent Kompany. What did they do? Even when we could see the injuries were coming at the end and he wasn't that guy, we said, no. Please hang around, because we understand what you mean.
Leave with dignity.
And also, we understand what you mean to the club. Not just
Absolutely.
as a player. There are certain people who are
Gary
special.
Neville as well.
No. There are certain people who are special. Gary Neville's special. Roy Keane, okay, he is what he is. But Vincent Kompany's special. Patrick Vieira is special because... And it always tells me, right? Because the nerds are involved in football now. You always know when it's not a football or an alpha male thing, the decision. Because I don't care how good you are. Even Thierry Henry, I haven't read any articles about it. Henry knew who the boss was while Vieira was around. In any alpha environment, you can't fake it. It picks itself. It's not always the captain.
There's only one guy. Actually, not one guy. Bro, if you can go toe-to-toe with Roy Keane,
No, but even then,
you must understand.
Roy Keane was nowhere near the best player.
Yeah, exactly.
But Fergie, to this day, even though they hate each other, always says what? That's the best one I've ever had.
But Vieira was a great player, and he stood up for himself.
A statesman as well. Look at Vieira.
Class.
So why didn't Arsenal look after that guy and say, you know what, Patrick, whatever you need, here's all of the money.
I'll tell you what it is. It's the curse of Anelka.
Nicola. What's the story?
Left Arsenal, you won the Champions League.
No, but
Silk.
that's a good point. Listen, he's an anomaly as well. Have you seen his documentary, Nicola Anelka?
Yeah.
Misunderstood, he says.
Nah, he is what he is.
No, he's a savage. He's a savage.
He is what he is.
He's a savage. And You know what he is like? He's like Maradona, the B-Tech Maradona. Is like just that cult figure, you know, because he is quite cool and he's just so brilliant. I mean, you know, Anelka will always be out of context because he was around before YouTube was actually a real thing. But that season at Arsenal and the 2 seasons at Real Madrid, like, they were out of this world. People get excited about Michael Owen. People get excited about Michael Owen. I say, sit down. If you saw Nicolas Anelka at 18 at Real Madrid,
if you saw Lascelles at Arsenal, dude,
that one season at Arsenal is but then he went to Real Madrid and he had that.
And do you know when Real Madrid bought you those days, it was like, wow.
And he still delivered it was a season.
But he got the Champions League.
The only teenager that I've ever seen, just a force of nature bigger than that, is the El Phenomenal, right? It is when Ronaldo.
R9.
He's the only guy.
Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima.
The only guy to ever be that guy as a teenager. People tell me Kylian Mbappe. Sit down.
At PSV Eindhoven.
No, forget about that. He was 19 at Barcelona.
Oh, yes. 37 goals. Yes.
The great Brian Robson said, I've never seen anything. Jose Mourinho was a coach under Brian Robson there. He said, to this day, I mean, Jose's coached all of it. He's coached Cristiano Ronaldo. He says, I've never seen anything like it.
Imagine he didn't get injured. Dude, that guy was doing step overs at 150 miles per hour.
And the pace and the power.
And that's Zlatan. If you were Zlatan Ibrahimovic's role model.
The pace, the power at 19.
He was complete.
And you know what? He wins the Ballon d'Or twice with the injuries.
That's ridiculous.
You know, at 19. So that's the only teenage force I've ever seen better than Nicolas Anelka, though, is that he's taken out of context. But again, hey, there's a good example. He left and he was right because he went on to bigger things. So at some stage, guys, Arsenal's problems are self-made. Can I ask you this?
Sure.
Why is Mikel Arteta the manager of Arsenal? I was going through it last night.
I love it. I think it's very funny.
Mikel Arteta is the manager of Arsenal Football Club.
So that's what I was also alluding to. You bring home results like that. Even at Leicester.
No, listen, if people don't believe what you're saying, Ranieri won the league, and then we saw where it was getting wobbly the next season. What happened? The Fox's management, they saved it. Out! But Arsenal were 8th and 8th 2 seasons in a row. Mikel, do you want more money? Do you want to spend 50 million on Ben White, which is actually a position we don't need because we were the 3rd best defense in the league last year. More money for being mediocre. Let's reward mediocrity. Like, what the hell?
But also this thing of Arsenal selling to their direct rivals.
And also, like, it's not mad money, right? And yeah, you know what? You've made a good point. Adebayor left, and he was right. Al-Khelaifi left. He was right.
Bakary Sagna left.
He was right.
Samir Nasri.
2 titles. At what stage?
Robin van Persie. £24 million.
To Manchester United.
Unbelievable.
So the Robin van Persie brings this one to a close nicely. Like, okay, hold on. So Barcelona at that time actually could afford toilet paper, which they can't now. So we say Real Madrid, Chelsea,
Juventus,
Juve, and at that stage the Milan clubs hadn't collapsed. So Inter, right, and AC. Now you're Robin van Persie's agent. Or you're Robin van Persie. What do you think of going to Barcelona? Would you take that?
Yeah.
Absolutely, you might think about it. Real Madrid, you heard of that, Robin? What do you think of going there?
It's the most prestigious club in the world.
So are you happy to go there?
Oh.
There's a Russian bloke who's just handing out money, throwing it out of a blimp at the moment. What do you think of going to Chelsea? Because they doing, it looks like they're doing things, Robin.
Aren't they European champions?
They're correct. You happy to go there?
Absolutely.
Now, Juventus, you heard of the old lady?
Most Serie A titles.
Yes.
The current Serie A champions.
That one. So you'd fancy
Nerazzurri.
Yeah. Inter Milan, your thoughts?
Never been relegated.
Yes. Yeah. The pomp, just done the treble as well with some guy called Jose Mourinho. Your thoughts? Okay, and AC Milan, just come out of the greatest dynasty of all time. You want to join them?
Come on now.
Now, those are your options as Arsenal. And
I only have to see you twice every season.
And there's no rivalry with Chelsea, so it almost doesn't matter if he goes and wins at Chelsea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does. Even if he went to Chelsea and fired them to a treble.
But my thing is, Robin van Persie scored a hat-trick at the Bridge. 5-3. And you're like, oh, okay, we're going to sell this guy.
Yeah.
And to add insult to injury, they give him the number 20 shirt, 20th title.
And you know he asked for that because he's a bit of a... I kind of like Robin van
No,
Persie.
I think Fergie said.
They're full-on douchebag. But to your point, could you imagine... It's the equivalent. And that's where you knew...
For 24 million pounds.
Talk to me about this. Imagine Steve Jobs gets out of his... back in the day. Shout out R.I.P. Steve Jobs. Mm-hmm. But imagine him making a phone call to Bill Gates and saying, listen, you know the technology that's making us win right now? We're about to release something called the iPhone. Do you want it? That's the equivalent of what Wenger did. It's like, hey, do you want it? Do you want all of our trade secrets and they'll take you to the next level? Fergie, what do you think?
For nothing.
That was the day Arsenal officially... Like, they were already dead, but that was the day they died. That was the day where I thought to myself, this is the worst situation in the history of mankind.
What? Golden Boot winner?
Yeah.
I just lost the league on goal difference. How much you say? 24? Are you sure?
Yeah.
24 what? Million? And then Van Persie said, the little child in him.
Yeah.
I'm bouncing.
And he's spoken about it. And he said, I went to the board and said, I wanted this, this, and this. And they said, no, we can't do that. Like, what? And
he was right as well.
Was he right? Him and Wayne Rooney for that season were, my God.
Van Persie was angry.
No, a different force that season. And, you know, this is what happens in life is the ultimate truth. And it's such an ugly truth, man. Mm-hmm. Being alive is difficult. But let me tell you the truth. People will only treat you how you let them treat you. Mm. And Arsenal became that. In what world should Aston Villa be coming through and saying, no, buen dia, this way?
Spurs
I can live with. They got money there in London. There's an attraction.
But when last did Spurs win a trophy?
Why are Aston Villa bullying you out of Buendia? That is your number one. How? You London. In fact, it's a good example. Aston Villa, for those who don't know, are in Birmingham. It's the second city. So listen, I like Birmingham. It's cool. It's not London.
Yeah, man.
And you know footballers, about their life. Argentine.
Do you think Pep voice calls Arteta the stogie? So,
I see you know.
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás, amigo? I see you know add buen dia to the squad. What's your problem?
What are you doing?
What's your problem, amigo?
Did you not learn nothing?
I taught you nothing.
Ah, shit.
That's
Skep said.
It's come full circle. That's Skep said. So you can't simulate it. You got to be...
It's too easy.
Maperiari, kiss on. Kiss on. It's a shame. It's a crying shame. All right, Arsenal Football Club are in the mud.
In the mire.
Hey, in the mud, cuz. Bawil, innit? Beyond.
You out here, Leicester's laughing at you.
Nefse, cut it there. Cut it there, because that's... Folks, Senzo just said it. Senzo has just said, Leicester are out here laughing at you. All right, we'll wrap up the show on the other side. MKT Show. All right, welcome back to it. Yeah, we're back. So what was the thing? We're back. You know, I'm gonna wrap up the show. It was good today. Arsenal and the mud. That's what the young kids say. Man United, I think they're on the way back. Top 4. Senzo's hoping for a top 3, top 4 finish. Second. He's saying second. No, it's ridiculous. Anyway, been a good show. Senzo, your thoughts on the show? Kind of immediate feedback. What are your thoughts on yourself, your performance? I'll write it down. Out of 10. Your performance, sir?
8, I think. Yeah.
An 8. I mean, that's 80%. That's cum laude. That's, wow. We'll have to
I cum lauded that yesterday, but what do you think? It's your show.
I like to go away and I'll send you an email. You know, really look
ponder
at it.
it.
Yeah, because I right now I'm emotionally caught up in it. I can see
you're in it.
Yeah. It's about being cold, going home, probably just have a glass of water.
No.
You know, hydrate. Right now I'm not peak hydration, so I'm not making my best decisions. My mom always used to say, "You're not representing your best self right now." That's her saying, "Take a step back. You're not representing your best self right now." So I'm not representing my best self.
Cool. Do you know what I say to my mates when they're talking nonsense?
Yeah.
Go wash your face. Because water fixes everything.
Senzo, good stuff today, pal. Go wash your face. You know what I like about that? It's very similar to...
Go have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, no, go wash your face. I like go wash your face. It's very similar to don't drink milk if you're lactose intolerant. It's useful and it's also good medical advice. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is MKT. This has been, for today, the MKT Show. But for now, we are the hell out of here.